Commander Zixith adjusted his ceremonial battle armor as the massive dreadnought Inevitable Conquest dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system. Around him, his bridge crew worked with practiced efficiency, their scaled hands dancing, across holographic displays that showed the tactical situation ahead. "Target acquired, Commander," reported his weapons officer, Lieutenant Velnar. "One planetary body, third from the star. No orbital defense platforms detected. No fleet presence." The intelligence reports were accurate. This species appears completely defenseless. Zixith nodded, his reptilian features creasing into what his species considered a smile. The hegemony had been expanding for 3 millennia, absorbing or eliminating every species they encountered. These humans would be no different. Their scouts had observed Earth for months, noting the primitive chemical rockets, the absence of energy shields, and the laughably weak electromagnetic signatures of their technology. "Open a communication channel to the planet," Zixith commanded. "Let's offer them the standard terms of surrender before we begin orbital bombardment." The main screen flickered to life, showing a human male in what appeared to be military dress. The creature had pale skin, short brown hair, and remarkably calm blue eyes. According to the translator, he identified himself as General Harrison, United Earth Defense Command. "Unknown vessel," the human began. "You have entered Earth's sovereign space. State your intentions." Zixith's laugh was a harsh, guttural sound. "I am Commander Zixith of the Hegemony 4th Fleet. Your world has been selected for integration into our empire. Surrender now, and your species will be granted laborer status. Resist, and face annihilation." The human general's expression didn't change. "I see. And how many ships comprise your fleet, Commander?" "One is sufficient for a primitive world like yours," Zixith replied. "The Inevitable Conquest alone carries enough firepower to glass your entire planet." "Interesting," General Harrison said, quietly. "Before you begin, might I ask, have you studied our history?" Zixith's patience was wearing thin. "Your history is irrelevant. You have 30 of your minutes to respond with your surrender." The communication ended, and Zixith settled back in his command chair. Another easy conquest for the hegemony. His crew began charging the planet-killer weapons, massive energy cannons that could crack continental plates. 28 minutes later, Lieutenant Velnar's head snapped up from his sensor station. "Commander, I'm detecting some unusual readings." "Elaborate." "The planet's electromagnetic emissions are changing. There's a massive surge in activity." "And sir, I'm picking up multiple launch signatures." On the main screen, Zixith watched dozens of contrails streak upward from Earth's surface. His amusement returned. "Primitive missiles. Our shields will..." His words died as the first wave of projectiles struck his ship. Instead of the expected impact against energy barriers, the weapons seemed to phase through their defenses entirely, detonating directly against the hull. "Shields down to 60%, Velnar reported, panic creeping into his voice. "How are they penetrating our barriers?" More impacts rocked the ship. Through the chaos, Zixith noticed something that made his blood run cold. The human weapons weren't just explosive. They were specifically designed to exploit weaknesses in hegemony technology that the humans shouldn't have known existed. "Get me that human general," he snarled. General Harrison's face reappeared, still infuriatingly calm. "Yes, Commander? How are you penetrating our defenses?" "Well, Harrison said. "You asked if we'd studied your history. The question is, have you studied ours? You see, for the past 6 months, we've been aware of your observation posts. Did you really think a species that went from horse-drawn carriages to splitting atoms in under 2 centuries wouldn't notice extraterrestrial surveillance?" Zixith felt his certainty crumbling. "Impossible. Our stealth technology is irrelevant when we've been listening to your communications frequencies," Harrison interrupted. "Your scouts were very chatty. We learned about your previous conquests, your technology, your tactics. Most importantly, we learned about your weaknesses." The ship shuddered under another wave of attacks. This time, Zixith realized the weapons were coming from multiple vectors, not just the planet, but from asteroids, space debris, even what appeared to be derelict satellites that were suddenly very much operational. "You see, Commander," Harrison continued, "you made the same mistake everyone makes about Earth. You assumed that because we haven't built massive fleets or orbital platforms, we're defenseless. But you failed to understand something fundamental about humans. We're really, really good at killing things that try to kill us." Warning klaxons blared throughout the ship. "Hull breaches on decks 4 through 7, Velnar shouted. "Main engines offline. Commander, we need to retreat." "Unfortunately," Harrison's voice continued over the chaos, "retreat isn't an option. You see, while you were preparing your invasion, we were preparing our welcome. Those aren't just weapons hitting you. They're specially designed to disable your hyperspace engines. We studied the wreckage from your previous conquests, Commander. Very educational." Zixith's hands trembled as he gripped his command chair. Around him, his crew worked frantically to restore power, but system after system was failing. The humans hadn't just penetrated their defenses, they had turned the inevitable conquest into a tomb. "This is impossible," he whispered. "You're a primitive species. You don't even have proper spaceflight." "That's the thing about humans, Commander," Harrison said, and for the first time, there was something cold in his voice. "We don't need to come to you. We're perfectly happy to let you come to us. And when something threatens our home—" The general paused, looking directly into the camera. "Well, let's just say that every predator eventually learns that some prey bite back." The main screen went dark as the ship's power grid finally collapsed. In the emergency lighting, Zixith could see his crew abandoning their stations. Through the hull breaches, he caught glimpses of small human craft approaching, not to rescue, but to study. As the first human boarding parties breached his ship, Commander Zixith finally understood the truth. Earth wasn't defenseless because it was weak. Earth was defenseless because it didn't need defenses. It had humans.